Hey, how's it going today? I'm here with Mackenzie Lieberman, the digital marketing expert. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my request to reach out to you. And the reason I reached out to you because you've been doing an awesome job as a digital marketer with MessageBot software. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for asking me. I really appreciate this. And I kind of nerd out when it comes to marketing and messenger bots. So any, time that I can talk about it, I love it. So, well, with messenger bots, if people don't know what that is, pretty much it's automated messenger marketing. So think of email, but do it through Facebook Messenger instead. And with the fact that it's very new, it's only been around for about a year for the most part, that it's been really great for businesses to utilize because email marketing, as a lot of us know, the open rate and click-through rate are just, they keep declining, right?
They're plummeting.
Yeah, exactly. And so in comparison, messenger marketing on average is between 80 to 90% open rate. With a couple of my clients, I got 100% open rate with some contests and things like that. And the engagement is much higher. People feel, as a customer, they feel that they're more heard and that it's more fun than just email, right? Because it's a lot of interaction. There's buttons, you can put GIFs, you can put videos, so it's much more attuned to our current social media world and the fact that people are on Messenger constantly throughout the day compared to email. It also is great because it can really reach those people where they are.
Awesome, awesome. Now, what have you seen far as open rate versus text versus images versus sending a video? Is it much higher if you just send an image in there and then put your text under the bottom? Does that increase your open rate?
It really depends on the business niche and the targeted audience, right? So sometimes with the older demographic, they're not as used to Messenger. Nothing against them, but it's just changing times and what people are used to, right?
Right.
So having a whole bunch of messages can be daunting sometimes. But in terms of just open rate, having messages that start off, especially with it's just a preview, having it like a really intriguing subject line of like an email. Getting them to want to open it and to click. But also when you send an image or a GIF, it states that. I mean, if you've ever sent an image or a video or a GIF to a friend in Facebook Messenger, it says, that so-and-so sent a GIF. And you're like, oh, what's that? So,
Right.
it's all about testing and split testing and see what open rates and click-through rates are. But that's the great thing is having those stats. You can really tweak it and see which works best.
So, what niches have you seen this work the best for, or is it just kind of universal?
It's pretty universal. I mean, there's a couple that I've had a little bit more trouble in, but for pretty much, I've ran messenger bots for restaurants, dentists, gyms, chiropractors, bookkeeper. I mean, it's just, you can even just client acquisition for myself. I mean, it's a great sales funnel pretty much to be able to get more clients that are just coming on in through autopilot. So pretty much as long as you can get to your target market, then it will work pretty well.
Awesome, awesome. So, how long have you been doing the messenger bots?
I kind of first heard about them December of last year. And then I was like, oh, I need to learn more about this. But, I've been really just doing Facebook ads to landing pages, for lead generation for the most part. So that has, been working well for a long time. But then I was like, these bot things are really cool. And then I started finding some other big name marketers and stuff and other companies who are using messenger bots. And so I was like, okay, I got to really get into this. So about April of last year is when I really dove in, or April of this year is when I really dove in and started learning a whole bunch about it. And then I was like, okay, so I got my first trial client with a messenger bot for a restaurant. I said, hey, I want to try this new thing. It's called these messenger bots. He had no idea what I was talking about.
All
I was
right.
just like, hey, this should get in more people. And it was unbelievable. I did a giveaway for free, 3 free meals within a 3-month period. And that everybody who entered got a free appetizer and a coupon for it. And it was insane. I got 100% open rate with that. The click-through rates were above 60-70% for future ones, and the fact that a lot of those people then are now subscribers to his bot that I can send out future promotions. I just did one for Halloween and I sent a message to all of his subscribers saying, hey, are you interested in seeing what we're cooking up for Halloween? And they hit yes. And then it's like, okay, here, come in for Halloween and get 20% off your order, sort of thing.
amazing.
So it's great to be able to interact with people like that. And I was able to send a GIF with a ghost and stuff. So it's, you know, it's fun and it's interactive and people like that.
Oh, that's amazing. So you're pretty much a pioneer because, as I understand, message bots, again, like you said, are pretty new. As well, now I can remember at one time, direct mail was the hottest thing out. And then that transitioned into email. Is it safe to say that email is now transitioning into messenger bots?
Yes and no. So it depends on what it is. So obviously with something that's a lot of information, you don't want to necessarily send it in Messenger. You
Great
want it
point.
conversational. Yeah, you want it short messages. You can end up sending, you know, files through it or connecting, you know, with a link to a Dropbox or a video or whatever. But, you know, email is not necessarily dead. It's still useful, but in terms of lead generation, especially on social media, you know, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, having it go to a messenger bot is really a quick way. Plus, people are now used to obviously getting information right at their fingertips, right?
Right,
so
absolutely.
when they're messaging a page, you know, they could even come to your page, not even with an ad, and they want to find out information about your restaurant or whatever, like when your hours or whatever. And in the messenger bot, you can have a menu that's just set there that people then can click, say, oh, I want, you know, restaurant hours and location, or I want to order online. Or same thing with pretty much any brick and mortar business, you know, finding out that information right away, or having within a welcome message just some basic information, triage information, which will actually save the business owner time because they're not having to sit and respond to a bunch of messages. And people will then also get their answer instead of, while they're waiting, go to their competitor.
Wow, that's awesome. So is there a way to set it up in sequences or how does that work? Do you set it up when someone replies to your message? Does someone have to read that or can you set up default answers or how does that work out for the client?
Yeah, so it really depends on what the end goal is, right? You want to start off with the end goal and then reverse engineer. But pretty much, you know, you can start off with like for a gym, for example, that you want to give some great tips and suggestions for, you know, nutrition or some exercises, right? That you connect to an ad and then people download that. And then you can lead them through a sequence of other messages to help increase that person's knowledge and trust of the business.
Awesome.
So that way they're like, oh, wow, this guy knows, or this girl knows what they're talking about. I really want to then, you know, pay for some training, some personal training, you know, so then that way you can increase their knowledge of you. So then that way, you know, they're like, okay, I'm ready to buy, and being able to reach them when they're able to buy.
So you would say that email and message marketing kind of work hand in hand. So it's a way to kind of catch up with them without sending them some long, you know, thought out thing, and you're able to just kind of get with them in a kind of shorter message way so that you can engage your list more for more engagement. And engagement is obviously the key, correct?
Exactly. And you can actually have best of both worlds because through the messenger bot, you can actually ask for the person's email and then have that email exported out to your email software. So then that way, if you want to ever follow up with them through email, or let's say for some crazy reason that Facebook Messenger just falls off the face of the planet, then you'll have a backup of an email. So there's always, you know, that combination as well. And then you can also go the other direction. If you have a large email list that you want them to become your Messenger subscribers, you can create a link to your Messenger bot in an email and send it to them and say, you know, hey, you know, click here to get, you know, this cheat sheet or something, and you'll get it through your Messenger.
So would you say it was easier to get people subscribed to your Messenger list opposed to putting their information on a landing page, or is that kind of the same process? Or
yes and no. The one downside to it being really new is people aren't used to having to go to their Messenger, Facebook Messenger, from a business messaging them, right? Like they're like, oh, what is this? So there is a learning curve a little bit, which is beneficial, but then also, you know, one downside. But it's more personable. I've noticed that with it being conversational, saying, hey, you know, what's a good email address? And then they send it. And then after they send it, then the next message is sent saying, okay, great. You know, what's a good phone number? And so a lot of people I've noticed, and this might be a good thing or a bad thing, is they think that the bot is a real person.
right. Yeah. Yeah, I have noticed that.
You know, that might be a good goal to have, right? That your bot is so personable that it seems like it's really a person. But then there's also the other aspect of it's just automatic, and it helps people to think that they're actually being talked to instead of just putting their name and email into some website.
Right. I believe at one point people thought that about emails as well. You would get an email from a marketer and you would go, "Oh, this guy like took the time to email me. Oh God, that's so cool." So I think that's an aspect of that, and people do love they do love to feel connected to who they either are buying from or potentially buying from or considering buying from. And I think that's a really cool thing about message bots. What are some of the greatest success? What is some of the greatest success that you had with messenger bots as far as getting subscribers? I mean, have you ever just went and ran a campaign and got a crazy amount of like messenger subscribers to a campaign?
Well, yeah, I mean, and the first one that comes to mind is that restaurant where I got over 200 subscribers in a couple of weeks to
Wow.
his page. And the funny thing is, he was just using his Facebook page just to update family and friends. He never thought about it as a marketing tool. So that was great for me. I'm like, okay, you just wait, I'm gonna blow your socks off here with these results. And now having to keep up with some extra posts and things like that he's got to actually do on his page. But there's the great thing is depending on the industry and the business that you can it depends on the offer and or what you're giving. It's kind of hard if you're trying to give away something that or have an offer that's not that great of a deal. Well then with Facebook ads in general, they usually don't convert as well. So
Right.
you always want to have a low entry offer to get them in, and then you can end up upselling them later on. For myself, I've gotten a lead magnet that I give out through my bot, and I haven't done any paid advertising. It's just, it's actually what I do
Wow.
is I help people set up their bot, right? Because the tech heaviness of a bot, that people are like, oh my gosh, this is too much for me. So I created a 5-day mini course of how to set up a messenger bot. And so when people are asking, how do I set up a bot? I say, okay, here, take this mini course. And it leads them through a sequence, through 5 days. And then it also connects them to my group, gives a page or a link to my group. And then also,
What is your group, by the way?
It's called Marketing with Messenger Bots.
Marketing with messenger bots. All right, guys,
Yeah.
you hear that? Marketing with messenger bots.
Yes. So go there. I provide a ton of value. And then also, for people who want to learn bots quicker, who don't want to go necessarily through a 5-day challenge and have to, test and stuff. In my bot, I actually give an option for personal one-on-one consulting. And
Oh,
where they
awesome.
can, within 2 days, get totally up and running with bots, and they can ask me any questions that they have. It's all over Zoom, and it's creating their bot. So it's great because it's all from this one cheat sheet that I give that people learn about all this stuff, and then they get into my group. So it's a wonderful way to get subscribers and people into your funnel without necessarily having to pay for it.
Great, because I was just going to ask you, being that bots are so techy, I was going to wonder, how do you explain this to someone who completely just does not understand bots, and how do you get them interested to say, hey, look, this is what you need to be doing? Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but this is what you need to be doing. But the concepts are simple, right? Because they're still the same.
Yeah, and it is hard in a way to just explain to people over the phone or even just in person without an example. One thing I like to do when I'm, contacting a potential client about like Facebook ads and messenger bots is, of course I mentioned to them the open rate, the engagement rate, and then how much more engaged people are with the bot, which will then bring them customers more than, email. But then I really like to send them an example bot, saying, hey, here's an example of what a bot can do.
Oh, okay.
And, let them go through it and see that, yeah, you can hit a button here, you can see this picture, you can have delays, you can ask other questions, things like that. So that way they get an idea of what a bot can do, and then they think about themselves and their business of how they can utilize that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So how can people get in contact with you? How can they obtain your services if they are interested in either getting your course, taking your bot, or getting some more personal time with you one-on-one? How could that happen?
Well, one, you can join my group. Like we said, Marketing with Messenger Bots. My page for my digital marketing agency is called Orca Marketology. And so you can go there and click send message, and they'll bring you to my bot. Or if you want to just go straight into my Messenger Bot 5-day course, it's bit.ly/Messenger Bot Challenge with the first letter of each of those names, Messenger Bot Challenge, capitalized. If for some reason that doesn't work, just go to the group, the Facebook group, Marketing with Messenger Bots, request to join it, and then it's in the pinned post there.
Okay, so probably the easiest way, and I'll try and get all that stuff up on the screen, but definitely the easiest way would be to go to your Facebook group and check that out, get all the wonderful information out there, and then you have your 5-day bot course, your cheat sheet, and also you offer personal coaching for anyone who's serious about messaging bots to really
Yes.
get up and running within, was that a 2-day time span? That's awesome.
Yep.
That's
2 days,
amazing.
yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat it up about these message bots. I think these are very revolutionary. That is one of the reasons that I reached out to you. And I really, really, really appreciate, as you can see, this is the kind of person that you'll be working with. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
This is absolutely amazing. I just reached out to her from a group that we're in together, and she gladly took this interview to explain this because she's really about helping people. So I really appreciate your time. My name is Richard. I am a customer acquisition specialist as well, and I try and help people to really see the new revolutionary patterns that marketing is taking, because it changes from time to time to time to time. There will always be something new, and believe me, guys,
Definitely.
Messenger Bots is the newest thing out. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Mackenzie, for having the time with us today, and we look forward to seeing you again. We'll see you on the internet.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.